Hey there, and welcome back to Hold and Modify. It's Q, YouTube's most poorly produced, underproduced channel, or host of. Hello, microphone. Hey, today we're getting back to the 1200 briefly, because as promised in my prior 1200 video, I've got a package from Dr. Chris. I believe this is going to be the floppy drive for the 1200, and oh, oh, ho, 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 ho.
This computer will rule the world.
Alrighty there, now we've got the lid off. It's time to do the keyboard duty. I'm going to have to set you guys down briefly. I'm sorry. I have to set you down so I can get this keyboard out of the way. Right, so even as lazy as I am, where I tend to leave everything plugged in as much as possible and try and do stuff and make life just miserable for me, yeah, don't do that here. Get the keyboard completely out of the way, the top of the case completely out of the way. That meant unplugging the LED connector, hard drive light connector, power light connector for the keyboard, and yes, the very delicate ribbon for the keyboard. Actually, that light is for the keyboard, the 1200 case, not the keyboard. So yeah, floppy drive, freshly repaired from Mr. Dr. Chris. Hopefully you go right in here. Yes, this is the floppy drive that came with this 1200 too. So it's good to see it back in its home. He's got it all cleaned up and fixed up for me. Sweet. So, by the way, now that I'm in here, you can see some things here. Yes, there's my 3.2.1 ROMs, my Mark III flicker fixer, to the Dell 2001 FP monitor. You can get these on eBay. At least at the time this video was made, you could get these on eBay for about 50 bucks and around $30 shipped. They do work with all the Amiga modes, but they don't flicker fix. However, they do flicker fix. They don't flicker fix, but the flicker they produce is really, really subtle, which is desirable. So unlike modern panels that may support the flicker fix abilities, or like modern panels that may support Amiga modes, they flicker like crazy. Like the flicker is super intense. This flicker on this monitor with native Amiga modes is really subtle. I would say it's less than even a 1084S. I am using it with my Mark III, so flicker is not even a problem because of it. However, there have been some issues with this Mark III I've discovered recently in Lightwave, and also I'm having problems. The software that comes with the Mark III is extremely complicated to use. I've had multiple users sit down with me, thank you by the way, and they've tried to be patient with me and explain to me how the software for this works to try and get your screens adjusted properly, and I just never have good luck with that. It's always a problem. So basically, my issue is that, yeah, I've got a 4x3 screen here, so my Amiga, should be flicker fixed perfectly. It should be an NTSC. I should be able to throw up a standard high-res interlace NTSC style screen or PAL screen and have it map in here and look correct. But I can't. I'm still having problems with that. So I'm not going to take it out. I haven't given up on it yet because it is a super clean image, obviously. So yes, now I'm going to get back to why we're making this video, which is to put the floppy in there. So let's get the floppy in there. Oh, look at that. Just like that, it's done. I don't put the screw here because this one's really annoying. It's just a pet peeve of mine. I do use the screws in the bottom though, so it's secured from the bottom of the case. So you get a nice, solid floppy disk going on. So yeah, let me go ahead and put it all back together. As you can see, I had to pull everything off. All the connectors are disconnected, even the PCMCA, yep. So had to flip it over. So let's get this back together. All right, now for the moment of truth. We have our Amiga booted up here. So yeah, remember what I was talking about, the Mark III. So as you can see here, the eyebrows, the globe is like an egg. These icons are like an egg. Those aren't supposed to be eggs. Those are supposed to be round. And in fact, on the 4000 behind me with its 16:9 screen, using the Mark III, I was able to figure out how to adjust it because it seems to favor those 16:9 monitors, the Mark III, probably because it's a newer product. Anyway, with its software configurator, this thing here, this software you run here, this pile of insanity, I was able to get the 4000 to do the Amiga NTSC screen properly so that it was the proper aspect and scaled properly. I don't know what's going on with this, why this is... It's too tall. It's too tall. It's not, the icons are not round. My balls are not round. They're oblong. You should see a doctor about that. Now, when I had my 16:9 display plugged into my 1200, which was down there, and I may plug back in, I was able to get this configured in a way that did the screen just like the 4000 did the aspect ratio correctly. So I don't know, guys. Everyone always yells at me, why don't you use 4x3 monitors with your Amiga? And I would say, yeah, that's fine if you're not using a flicker fixer like I am. Because if I plug this Amiga directly into this monitor without the flicker fixer, yeah, it's correct. The icons, these are round. That's proof right there that the monitor can do the job. I just don't know how to get my Mark III's configuration settings to work to do that scaling properly. So, yeah, anybody has, I mean, I don't even know if I should ask for help because I've already had multiple people help me with this and spend a lot of time with me on this. Good old Doug at Tenmark, he spent a long time with me on this. And he was actually the one that helped me get the 4000 and the 1200 set up originally to look correct on a 16:9 panel. I just need to do that again for a 4x3 panel, ironically. All right, anyway, we're getting off track again. Let's get this here and see if the floppy drive works. Oh.
Good as new.
Well, it looks like I screwed something up. This is why I never put screws in my 1200, because I'm always having to open it up again. It looks like maybe the floppy drive is too far to the left, not the way I installed it. I need to slide it to the right, and hopefully that'll resolve this problem. Please stand by. All right, so we're back. That was quick. I think I know what's going on here. The problem is the top of this 1200 case is actually to another Amiga 1200. The bottom case on this 1200 is an original Commodore era case, and the top shell is actually like the SCOM era of Commodore. So actually it's this, yeah, the Amiga Technologies GmbH 1200. That's where the top of this case comes from. And the reason I'm using this is because it's clean. This is the cleanest of the other. The original Commodore era 1200 case, it's really, really yellow and grungy, and it has this GVP Genlock sticker on the top. It kind of junks it up. So I just for like visualness as I use this. So I think what's happening, there's a little mismatch happening with the two cases. So let's see, let's get this in here. There it goes. Yeah, so yeah, it was just that because of the mismatch that's happening between those two cases, there's a little bit of a problem with the alignment of the top and the bottom of the shell. So yeah, stuff happens. Here, let's copy Vista Pro to it. So floppy does its thing. There you go, Vista Pro, as I recently posted in my community page on my YouTube group. Oh, ooh, she's kind of noisy. The soothing sounds of the Amiga floppy drive. My squeaky chair. Definitely seems to be working. Sounds like an 81 Buick Skylark sometimes, but yeah, a little noisy, a little squeaky, but working. All right, well, I guess with that, and I'm going to enjoy these candies like a responsible adult would, slowly over time, not all at once. Thanks for watching. I'm done with this video. Floppy drive installed, 1200 buttoned up. Yay!